So, what if you could take all that expertise you've built up in your business and turn it into not just a better company, but a stream of passive global income? Well, today, we're going to deconstruct a really fascinating partnership proposal that aims to do just that. It's all about transforming one local HVAC company into the blueprint for an entire industry-wide AI revolution. Okay, let's dive right in. To really get this deal, you first have to understand the battlefield. The local service industry, we're talking HVAC in a big city like Vancouver, is incredibly crowded. I mean, you're not just up against a few other folks, you're one of hundreds. But here's the real challenge. A tiny number of big players control most of the market. And you can just feel the pressure that creates, right? You've got something like 450 companies all scrapping for less than half the pie. So if you're a small or medium-sized business trying to stand out and grow in that kind of environment, well, it's not just tough, you're at a huge disadvantage from the get-go. And it's this exact problem that opens the door for a totally new kind of solution. So, into this super competitive market comes a tech platform called ScalingLocal. But here's the thing, they're not just trying to sell another piece of software. Their whole proposal is different. They're actually looking for a partner, someone to build something new with together. And this is the crucial point right here. The offer isn't a product, it's a project. The tech company is basically saying, look, we've got the platform, you've got the years of real-world expertise. Let's put them together and build the ultimate AI system for your whole industry. And you'll be the founding partner. So what is this platform anyway? You can think of it as a two-part system. First, you've got the AI agent. This thing is designed to capture an expert's brain. You know, how to diagnose tricky problems, how to price jobs fairly and profitably. Then, the second part is a full-on business automation platform that handles all the day-to-day stuff like CRM, scheduling, and customer follow-ups. The whole goal is to create one complete business operating system that just smashes through the biggest headaches for any service business, training new people, keeping service consistent, and finally breaking through those frustrating growth ceilings. Okay, so that's the pitch. It sounds pretty cool, right? But what does the deal actually look like on paper? What does each side have to put in, and what do they really get out of it? Let's get into the nuts and bolts of this founding partner agreement. So on the partner side, the HVAC company, the investment is split into three main things. First, there's the financial bit, a $10,000 setup fee, plus a commitment to spend $15,000 on marketing, basically to prove the whole system works. Then there's the expertise part, giving up about 8 to 12 hours of their time so the tech company can extract all their processes and knowledge. And finally, cooperation. They have to be cool with becoming the main case study for the platform. And what do they get in return? Well, the rewards are pretty massive. They get the finished platform to run their own business, obviously. But way more important, they get exclusive rights to their home turf, meaning none of their local competitors can ever get their hands on this system. And here's the real kicker. They get a 15% cut of the revenue from every single company that licenses this platform in the future anywhere in the world. And that's the core strategy right there. The local business isn't just a customer. No, they're the co-architect of a blueprint. Their real-world, hard-won knowledge is the key ingredient to perfecting a model for success that can then be sold and copied again and again and again. Now that revenue share, that is where this deal goes from being just a smart software investment to a potential passive income engine. So let's take a closer look at how that actually works, because the mechanics behind it are seriously powerful. The agreement is super straightforward. The founding partner gets 15% of all gross revenue that the company collects from every new licensee. And we're not talking about a one-time thing. This applies to both the big setup fees up front and the monthly subscription fees that go on and on. Let's just walk through a quick example. So, a new HVAC company, let's say in Dallas, signs up. They pay the $10,000 setup fee. Bam. The original partner in Vancouver instantly gets $1,500. Then, that Dallas company starts paying its $500 monthly fee. The Vancouver partner gets $75 of that every single month for as long as that company stays a customer. Now just imagine that happening with 10 companies, then 50, then 100. You can see how this starts to add up fast. And this is the number that makes it all real. According to ScalingLocal's own growth projections, the potential 3-year net profit for that founding partner, just from the revenue share alone, is over $250,000. And remember, that's on top of all the value they get from using the system in their own business. So this all seems like a really smart way to sell software, right? But when you start digging into the company's strategy documents, it becomes pretty clear that selling a platform to individual HVAC companies, well, that's just step one of a much, much bigger plan. The company calls this next part its Pillar 3 strategy. And this is where things get really wild. We're moving beyond just one industry and into a vision for creating what they actually call a global niche brand. And this quote from their internal strategy doc, it just says it all. The big idea isn't just to help one HVAC company, or even 100 of them. The vision is to create a single, centralized AI brain for an entire industry niche. And then do it all over again for plumbers, for dentists, for roofers, you name it. So here's how they see it scaling up. For each niche, like HVAC, they create the one definitive AI brain. That very first founding partner, their expertise is the seed crystal that starts it all. Then, one global licensor gets appointed to co-own and develop that brain. And from that moment on, every other HVAC business in the world that wants in simply becomes a licensee, paying for access to that one, constantly improving central AI. And this brings us right back to the beginning. That local partner in Vancouver, they're not just getting a tool to make their own company run better. Those 8 to 12 hours of their time become the foundational DNA for a global system. They're literally helping build version 1.0 of what the company hopes will become the standard for the entire industry. So you can really see the two layers of the strategy here. On one hand, the local deal is all about capturing one company's expertise in exchange for revenue share and locking out local competition. But the global vision, on the other hand, is about creating one AI brain owned by one licensor that becomes the go-to operating system for that entire industry, everywhere. The local partnership is basically the launchpad for a global ecosystem. And that leaves us with the big final question. When you really break this whole model down, what are you looking at? Is it just a really clever software deal designed to give one business an edge? Or is it something way bigger? A new blueprint for franchising, not a brand, but for franchising expertise itself, and then scaling that knowledge globally through the power of AI.